to AMSEP Thailand, the exchange project. Now we have come to the episode 8, the last episode of this project. I'm Mel.
I'm Polly.
And we are the national officers of AMSEP Thailand. Today we're pleased to inform you that we're going to discuss about the topic about exchange program in the America countries. And for that topic, we have invited our special guests who have experience in this country. So may I have the guest speaker introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Jin Jin. I'm a third-year medical student studying in Siraj Hospital. And the time that I went to the exchange is between the semester break between year 2 and year 3, and I went to Brazil.
Okay, we're very happy to have you here with us. So let's start with our first questions. So our first question is, can you tell us about the country that you have been exchange or study before too? And it will be very interesting if you talk about the program or the organization that you went, that you joined to, and some highlight or fun fact about the country that you have been to.
So I went with AMSEP-TH with Siraj, which is I sent the essay and I have to have an interview with my professor and my faculties and another interview with the student who have been in the exchange program before. And a little bit fun fact about Brazil. Brazil is the largest country in South America, and there is one of the 7 wonders in modern world, which is Christ the Redeemer. And I think the men will know this country for the football fans. They have Neymar, which is a famous footballers, and there was the largest discharge by volume of the water in the world, which is Amazon River, which is occupied by 60% of Amazon River is in Brazil.
Wow, it made me want to go to Brazil right now. Okay, and can you share the reason why you choose this country and your destination, like the people, the culture, or anything else that make you choose this country?
Basically, to be honest, I didn't choose Brazil because of like the culture or the people. I didn't do any research about it, but because I want to meet my primary teachers when I was in primary school, and he's a Brazilian, so that is the reason why. That I went to, it's called Curitiba, which is the south region of the Brazil in the Paraná state, which is in the southern of Brazil. Curitiba is the coldest cities in Brazil and is one of the safest cities in the Brazil as well. We use like buses and Ubers to go around the countries, and they have many parks along the city. And from what my host said, Curitiba is as much as cold as the weather could be. But from what I experienced, it's not that true, because like my host and my co-workers or the people who I work in the hospital, there is really warm welcoming, and they try to make me have the best experience in Brazil, like ever, as much as I could have. Like they invite me to many traditional markets and many places, and they try to make the atmosphere of the co-workers as much as comfortable as much as possible, and they try to expose me in everything. So I think the people is really one of the best. But if you go to the random people who don't know the language, they would just ignore you, but you have to understand because they don't know the language. So that is pretty much.
It seems like you enjoy a lot with your exchange. So when talking about going to exchange in abroad country, I think one thing that very interesting is about friendship. So could you tell us about the friendship you made along the way?
So basically, I made my friends with the host and the Lord, which is is the person who is taking care of me when I go to Brazil. Most of their friends are really warm, welcoming, and they invite me to a lot of parties and kind of a Easter's celebrations together. And sometimes they made an arrangement for a whole day of like hanging out with their friends together. So it's really great for me. I didn't so for IMF and IFMSA, they would have a traditional whereas an exchange students will come together and meet a lot of like other country exchange students. But from the month that I've been in exchange, there is only 2 students from the exchange program, so there is no that such of kind of meeting. So a lot of my friends are from the hospital, but even though I only have the friends from the hospital, it's is as much as I could have. Like they brings me to a lot of places, like I said before, it's more than enough.
I'm sure that is one of your best experience in your life. Okay, and can you share about what you have learned from this experience and how it influenced you to be who you are today?
So I went to Children's Hospital, which is like at first before I going to the exchange program, I would think like children is so annoying when they're sick because like they would have a lot of needs and they would be crying, trying to have like what they could get. But when I see how my professor dealing with the kids, I think it's really changed my perfect perspective. I think because of the environment and how my professor treats the childrens, it's the kids, and it makes they have a more cooperation to the how doctor would examine with them, and I think it's totally changed my perspective to what the children who is sick, and I think I would really love them more. So I basically love like the students as in general, but when they're sick, I think it's not really great to deal with them, but then I changed my mind.
Okay, I think that's very impressive. Seems like the exchange teach you a many new perspective a lot. So let's move to our next question. So our next question is what the difference between the exchange country and our country in various perspective, like for some example, the healthcare system or the medical education, or it can be their culture too.
About the medical education, it's basically the same as in Thailand. So basically they have the 6 years of studying, and they don't have but the fund how they paid, so they have to pay for the their learning by themselves. So there is no government funded education, so they do not have to have the 3 years of working after they finish the 6 years of studying. So they can directly go to the residency, but by entrance. In my hospital, in where I'm studying, like there is no chance that you can go to follow your professor into their rounds to follow how they treat and how they deal with the patients. It would not be possible if I didn't go to the exchange program. So when I went to Brazil, my professor offered me to like to follow her on, I think, Tuesday and Thursday for the whole morning to just see how she deal with the patients, how her life is be as a doctor, and I could just be inside in the patient's room, and then she would ask everything. She would like do just as normal as it could be when you deal with the patients, but after that she will explain me in every cases, and sometimes she would offer me to do a little physical exam if I can do it. Most of the time I can't. But anyway, it's a good opportunities to just like be there and try to understand anything, and you would not get the chance if you still studying in clinical year. So it was one of the greatest experience that I would have.
Okay, and lastly, I would like you to give us some words or recommendation to other students who would like to join the exchange program, please.
I think, like I said, is one of the best experience that I ever have. Like you would have like the relationship that you have with your friends or things like that if you didn't go to the exchange program. So like I never have been to the exchange program that you have the host as in the same field as medical field as you are. So you have a lot of common things in to conversation with her, and there would be a range of topic for you to talk to, and the relationship as an exchange students and the professor is totally different when you have like when you're still studying and you are still learning and you have a connection between you and the professor. It's just totally different. You will not have like even my professor will drive me home and have a brought a party, just a party for me before I going back to Thailand. And there is like they did the person who works with me, they kind of bring me to arrange me an after party to just before I going back to Thailand. So it's like kind of a warmest thing that I could ever get. And even though my professor said that when there is a time that she has exchange students, she has been an exchange student before, and she said that is one of the best experience that she ever had. So if you're not even if you have a chance to try it yourself, you should go for it, and it would change a lot of perspective of life and how you enjoy life.
Wow, that's such a wonderful experience. I'm sure that your experience will make a many medical students want to join this exchange program like you. And okay, before we wrap up, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you for our guest speaker, Jin Jin. Your experiences are really important to those who are interested in medical student exchange program. And finally, we are here at the last episode of the exchange project. And I would like to thank you everyone for joining us in this journey. And I hope that you have gained valuable insights and knowledge about medical exchange program that have inspired you on your own pathway in medical field. And as always, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep striving for excellence. And I think it's time for us to say bye to you guys. So yeah, let's say bye. Bye.